Hello friends, welcome to Affairs Cloud Learn to Lead. This is Ashu and today we will discuss very important current affairs of 12th of June 2021. You can see two best images of the day, but today we will discuss very important and the most important current affairs. But guys, you can download our application named as Careers Cloud. You can download this application from the description box link. You can log in with your email ID and after that you have to click on this crack current affairs section to subscribe our current affairs for 1 year as well as for 2-year validity. The most important thing that we are covering 90 to 95% of the current affairs which are coming in your exams. This is the genuinity, this is the hard work of Affairs Cloud team. But first of all, how we are covering this current affairs? We are covering by daily current affairs. We are providing 3 sections under the daily section. One is related to detail current affairs, second is the question and answer format of current affairs, third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on daily basis. Next is the weekly section. In the weekly section again you will receive 3 type of the sections. One is detail current affairs, second is the question and answer format of current affair, and third is the quiz section which you can attempt on our application on weekly basis. Next is the monthly, and this is the most important section because we are providing 4 type of PDFs. One is the detail current affairs will be provided, question and answer format of the current affairs will be provided, and best 100 current affairs also provided in the form of question and answer, and last is the pocket PDF. As the name suggests, it is very important to revise the current affair before your exam in the quick format. So guys, to enhance your performance, we are also providing some smart PDFs which are known as topic wise PDF. We are covering 20 most important topics which are very important for every type of exam, and if you want to just revise all the current affairs related to one topic, then you have to just pick that PDF. If you are a banking aspirant, then we are providing 3 things. One is detail and question and answer format of the current affairs only related to banking and economy, and second is the quiz section which you can attempt on an application on monthly basis. If you want to revise all the past current affairs of 2021, like 5 months current affair from just single PDF, then this PDF is for you. It means before exam you have to just revise all the current affairs, past current affairs from just single PDF. Next is special current affair. It stands for budget and economic survey. We are providing detailed budget and economic survey. Also we are providing expected question and answer which examiner can ask from this section. And if you are preparing for your state exam, then the state current affair section will definitely help you, and we are covering every state and union territory. So guys, there is no different subscription. We are only providing all these things under one subscription. You have to just download our application Careers Cloud from the description box link. You can log in with your email ID and you have to click on this crack current affair section. After that you can subscribe for 1 year as well as for 2 year. Both the subscription prices are very much low. If you see the price, you will definitely surprise, and on that minimal price we are providing 10% extra discount if you use this code ASH10. You can contact us on this email ID. You can contact us on this number if you have any type of query. So let's begin today's session, that is 12th of June 2021. But I am requesting you all the students that you have to like this video, you have to share this video as maximum as possible, and you have to subscribe this channel. You can join our Telegram group from the description box link. But let's start today's session with the most important question section. Here is our first question. What is the rank of India in Global Skills Report 2021? The most important thing, Global Skills Report 2021. So first of all, you have to remember this Global Skills Report is published by which organization? It is published by Coursera. So you have to remember, I am writing here Coursera. It is a you can say a United States of America based organization, Coursera, and this organization published this Global Skills Report 2021, and India's rank is 67th. And you can see here India trails in data skills, rank 67th overall globally in Coursera's Global Skills Report 2021. The most important keyword here is the Global Skill Report. And you can see here, this is released by Coursera. It is United States of America based organization, but Switzerland topped under this ranking, followed by the Luxembourg and Austria. But you have to remember the top country, that is Switzerland. And at the Asia level, if we are only comparing the Asian countries, then Japan has topped the ranking, and global rank of Japan is 4th. And in the Asian countries list, India has been ranked 16th. India was ranked in 16th in the Asian region, ahead of the Philippines and Thailand. So this is a very poor rank of India in the Asian region. And Indian learners have high proficiency in digital skills like cloud computing and machine learning. Like cloud computing 83% and machine learning 52%, and even 54% in the mathematical skills. Improvement is needed in the digital skill. Because in data analysis and statistical programming ranked only at 25% and 15%. So India need made a very much improvement in the digital skills because of data analysis and statistical programming. But Indians trail behind in data skills and need to focus on that. And despite accelerated digital transformation, India continues to have a digital skill gap. Workforce displacement due to pandemic is increasing this gap. And national upskilling initiatives can unlock India's potential to achieve a faster economic growth and improve the employment rate. And guys, you have to remember this report is based on the performance data of about 77 million learners from across 100 countries, and it is on the platform collected since onset of the pandemic, and it benchmarks skill proficiency across three categories. One is the business, second is technology, third is the data science. But overall India's rank is 67th and the top country is Switzerland. And in the different categories, like in the business category, India ranked number 55, and in the technology and data science category, India ranked on the 66th position. But you have to remember the overall rank, not the different rank. So India ranked on 67th, and the country which is top, that is Switzerland. But you have to remember the other ranks also. Here you can see here the first, second and the third option. 131st rank, this was rank of India in the Human Development Index of 2020, and this index is released by United Nations Development Program, and the country which is topped under this index, this is Norway. And the 40th rank, this was rank of India in the International Intellectual Property Index of 2021, which was recently released, and it is released by US Chamber of Commerce Global Innovation Policy Center, and the country which is topped under this index, that is United States of America. Next is 49th rank. This is Inclusive Internet Index of 2021. This is also 2021, and this is published by Economist Intelligence Unit, and India's rank is 49th, and the country topped is Sweden. So you have to remember these indexes. These are very important, and the most important here is the Human Development Index. Now we can move to the next question. Who was honored with the Asia Pacific Productivity Champion of 2020? So guys, mark this question in the most important category, and the most important keyword here is Asia Pacific Productivity Champion 2020. So answer of this question is very simple. Answer is Dr. Rupinder Singh Sodhi, or you can say Dr. R.S. Sodhi. He is currently the Managing Director of Gujarat Cooperative Milk Federation, or you can say Amul, and he was honored with the Asia Pacific Productivity Champion 2020, which is awarded by the APO. APO stands for Asian Award for the Productivity Organization, which is situated in Tokyo, Japan. The award recognizes India's enhanced productivity and efficient milk supply chain in the world. And you can see here Amul Sodhi conferred with the Asia Pacific Productivity Champion. And remember, the name of the Sodhi, full name is the Dr. Rupinder Singh Sodhi. And guys, you can also see this, that Managing Director of Gujarat Cooperative Milk Marketing and Federation, that is also known as the Amul, was honored with the Asia Pacific Productivity Champion. Examiner can ask this type of thing also. The award recognizes India's enhanced productivity and efficient milk supply chain, where a dairy farmer receives 70 to 80% of the consumer price compared to the global average of 35 to 40%. This is a very huge thing. And recently, RSOD elected to the board of the International Dairy Federation recently. You can also remember this. And guys, you can also remember about Asia Pacific Productivity Championship Award. This award is basically presented every 5 years to the individuals who have made significant contributions toward the advancement of productivity movement in the Asia Pacific region and in specific member economy of the Asia Pacific organization, which is situated in Tokyo. And each country can nominate only one candidate, and only 5 regional nominates or the nominees receive the award. But you can also remember the other options. These are again very important options. First, you can see here Shyamala Ganesh, and she recently won the Order of Rising Sun. It is given by the Japan government for promoting the Japan culture and language in India. Next, Jane Goodall, very famous award he received. That's why this question is the most important, because he received Templeton Prize. So remember, Templeton Prize of 2021. Next is Dr. N. Nageshwar Reddy. You have to remember the name because he recently won the Rudolph V. Schindler Award. And this is given by the American Society of Gastrointestinal Endoscopy. So you have to remember the options also. Now we can move to the next question. Which state ranked number 1 with the highest student enrollment in the higher education according to All India Survey of the Higher Education 2019-20, which is recently released by the Department of Education under Ministry of Education. And this state is, guys, Uttar Pradesh. So you can see here, Union Ministry, or you can say the Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank ji released a report which is All India Survey on the Higher Education report, which is also known as AISHE 2019-20. And according to this report, UP has highest number of enrollment in the higher education. And this report is released by Department of Higher Education under the Ministry of Education. And this is the 10th edition which was released recently. And this report is known as 2019-20. And it is web-based survey which collects data through All India Survey on the Higher Education portal based on the various parameters. And these parameters are like teacher students enrollment ratio, examination result, you can say the education finance, and the infrastructure. And indicators of education development such as institutional density, gross enrollment ratio, people's teacher ratio, gender parity index, and the per student expenditure are also calculated along with this data. And you have to remember that gross enrollment ratio in higher education in 2019-20 stood at 27.1%. This can be asked that exact figure, that how much higher education gross enrollment ratio increases. It is 27.1% now compared to 26.3% in 2018-19 index. So earlier it was 26.3, now it is 27.1%. Even in 2014-15 it was just 24.3. Now we almost increased by the you can say 2%. And even the gross enrollment ratio for male population is more in 2014-15, but now gross enrollment ratio for male population is less, female gross enrollment ratio is more. So this is very good thing for India. And the report states that in the last 5 years, from 2015 to 16 to 2019 to 20, there was a growth of 11.4% in the student enrollment. So this is also a very good news. So you have to just remember this data cannot be asked in the exam, but this is very important information for you when you have to write something. So you have to remember about UP. Recently, Justice Sanjay Yadav appointed as the Chief Justice of Allahabad High Court. This is again important. You can also remember, especially the students who belongs to Uttar Pradesh. Now, guys, you can remember the Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath ji. And in 2022, there is election in Uttar Pradesh, so it is a high voltage election. And you can also remember the governor. Governor is Anandiben Patel. She has also the additional charge of Madhya Pradesh. And guys, remember, very important national park is there in Uttar Pradesh. That is Dudhwa National Park. Very important. So guys, now we can move to the next question. Who became the first Indian to qualify for the Paralympic Games in Taekwondo? So the most important keyword here is the first Indian to qualify for the Paralympic Games in the game Taekwondo. So the name of player is Aruna Tanwar. So remember, a 5-time national champion, Aruna Tanwar was awarded a wildcard entry for the upcoming Tokyo Paralympic Games. And this will make her the first Taekwondo athlete from India to qualify for the Paralympics. And you can see here Aruna Tanwar. And she will become the first Taekwondo athlete from India to qualify for Paralympics. And guys, you can remember Indian Taekwondo President Namdev also stated Aruna Tanwar as the first Indian to qualify for competing in the global multi-para sport event. And Tokyo Paralympics will be held from 24th of August to 5th of September 2021. And she has finished on the podium in the last 4 years at both Asian Para Taekwondo Championship and World Para Taekwondo Championship. She is currently the world number 4 in the women's category of under 49 category. So you have to remember these things. So the name is very important. You have to remember just the keyword Aruna Tanwar and the game Taekwondo. This is important. And guys, you can also remember the other options because Netra Kumanan, recently she became the first Indian woman sailor to qualify for Olympics. Bhavani Devi, very important question, and she became the first Indian fencer to qualify for the Olympics. So one is the sailor, one is the fencer, and one is the Taekwondo player. Both are the players who become the first to qualify for the Olympics or the Paralympics according to the category. Now we can move to the next question. All the most important questions are now covered. We are moving to the very important questions. Guys, you have to like this video, you have to share this video, and you have to subscribe this channel. And if you are watching this video first time, then definitely you have to subscribe this and you can join our Telegram group for official notifications. Here is the first question in the very important section. Which state recently launched DBT mobile application for fund transfer? And what is the meaning of DBT? DBT stands for Direct Benefit Transfer Mobile Application that will help transfer various government welfare schemes funds directly to the beneficiaries. And this state government is Karnataka. You can see here Karnataka Chief Minister Yediyurappa ji launched DBT mobile application for the fund transfer to the beneficiaries. And you can see here the mobile application includes 120 government schemes, which includes all COVID-19 packages and all financial assistance providing packages of the state. And the financial address of the beneficiaries will be identified through the Aadhaar number or the Aadhaar card, and funds will be directly transferred to the Aadhaar linked bank account. So by this, financial inclusion also will be there, and the payment status of the welfare funds can be tracked in this platform. Even misappropriation of funds, middleman and the loopholes are also can be eliminated. So this is the good thing which is started by the Karnataka government. And guys, you can remember the Chief Minister of Karnataka is Yediyurappa ji, and Governor is Vajubhai Vala. And guys, you can also remember here the very important national parks in Karnataka. Bandipur National Park is there. Bandipur National Park is there. Banerghatta, very famous Banerghatta National Park. Dandeli National Park. Dandeli. Kali Tiger Reserve is also there. Kudremukh, one of the very famous iron ore mine. Nagarhole National Park. So these are very important 6 national park. I am again repeating: Bandipur National Park, Banerghatta, Dandeli, Kali Tiger Reserve, Kudremukh and Nagarhole National Park, all are situated in Karnataka. Now we can move to the next question. Padam Shri awardee Radha Mohan passed away. He was very famous. Now you have to tell me, he was very famous environmentalist, and he belongs to which state? He belongs to Odisha. So in any obituary you have to remember 3 things. One is the name. So in this question you know the name Radha Mohan. Second, the profession is environmentalist, and third is the state is Odisha. So you have to remember these 3 things, then every obituary you can cover under question. So Padam Shri awardee environmentalist Radha Mohan dies. You can see here the picture of Radha Mohan, and he had formed a social organization to create awareness among farmers on sustainable organic farming. He was also served as the principal of SCS College in Puri, Odisha, and he was also appointed Odisha's Information Commissioner. He also won the Padam Shri Award in 2020, and you have to remember this award was given for their contribution to the agriculture. And he also won the Global Role of Honor Award, which was given by the United Nations Environment Program for his distinguished work for the environment. Again, he won Utkal Seva Samman. It is given by the Odisha government for his outstanding social service. So these awards are again very, very famous awards. So remember the name, remember the state, remember the profession. Now we can move to the next question. Which company has acquired 100% stake of multi-brand loyalty program, which is known as Payback India, from American Express and ICICI Investment Strategic Fund? So Payback India was very famous, you can say the cashback program, which was started by or launched by the American Express and ICICI Investment Strategic Fund. And under the Payback India, American Express owned 90% of the shares, and this ICICI Investment Strategic Fund owned the 10%. But now one company from India bought this 100% stake from the American Express and ICICI Investment Strategic Fund, and this is Payback India, and answer of this question is Bharat Pay. So it is most important question, especially for the SBI students. And you can also see here the picture, Bharat Pay acquires Payback India. This is the most important news you are covering here. This is the first ever acquisition of Bharat Pay. It now become Payback India, now become the fully owned subsidiary of the Bharat Pay. It is to provide digital credit to customers and launch buy now, pay later services. And it is to build India's largest and most engaged merchant network to over 2 crore small merchants by the year of 2023. And Payback India is the multi-brand loyalty program which was launched in 2010, and it was a network of more than 100 offline and online partners that allowed this customer to earn and redeem points on every transaction at its partner and merchant outlets. For example, if you have a ICICI card, then if you purchase something, then according to your purchase amount, some reward points will be added to your payback. Then you can redeem these payback points. So this is the basically criteria. Now Bharat Pay purchased this payback. So you have to remember this. Now what about this payback? Payback managing director was Pramod Mahanta, and the chief executive officer was Rajesh Raghavan. But you have to now remember about only Bharat Pay. Bharat Pay was established in 2018. Its co-founder and chief executive officer is Ashneer Grover. and its headquarters is in New Delhi. And guys, remember, this is the first ever acquisition of the BharatPe, and now Payback India becomes the fully owned subsidiary of BharatPe. So this is very important question. Now moving to next question. Who is reappointed as the part-time chairman of ICICI Bank? So he was earlier appointed as a part-time chairman, but now again he was reappointed as a part-time chairman of ICICI Bank. Answer is GC Chaturvedi. You can see here the picture of GC Chaturvedi. RBI grants the reappointment of GC Chaturvedi as a part-time chairman of ICICI Bank. And guys, he was appointed as a part-time chairman for the time period of 3 years. 3 years. And the reappointment was approved earlier by the you can say the stakeholders at the annual meeting held on the 14th of August 2020. And remember, Girish Chandra Chaturvedi or GC Chaturvedi was an IAS officer of Uttar Pradesh cadre of 1977 batch. He also served as the secretary under the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. Currently, he is the chairman of National Stock Exchange. National Stock Exchange. He is currently the chairman of this organization. This is again very important. And remember about ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank was established in 1994. Its corporate office or headquarters is in Mumbai, and its managing director or chief executive officer is Sandeep Bakshi. He is currently the CEO and MD of ICICI Bank, and tagline is Hum hai na ख्याल आपका. हम है ना ख्याल आपका. But you can also remember the other two options here. Like first option you can see here, Mukhmeet S. Bhatia. He was recently appointed as Director General of Employment or Employees State Insurance Corporation. State Insurance Corporation. Subhash Kumar, very important appointment. He was appointed as Chairman and Managing Director of ONGC, or Oil and Natural Gas Corporation. GC Chaturvedi, you know. Now Sandeep Bakshi, you already know. So let's move to next question. A book titled Home in the World, authored by whom? So you have to just remember the name, Home in the World, and this book is written by Amartya Sen. So I think all the students know this personality, Amartya Sen. He was the only economics Nobel laureate from India, and he authored this book, Home in the World. And the book describes the early life of Amartya Sen and explores the idea of home. So the book opens up with the days when Amartya Sen grew up with his grandparents in Dhaka, Bangladesh. You can see very beautiful cover page of this book, Home in the World. It is a basically memory-based book of Amartya Sen, or the memoir of Amartya Sen, winner of the Nobel Prize, Amartya Sen, and he won the Nobel Prize in 1998. And he was the first Asian to receive the Nobel Prize in Economics when he received the award in 1998 for welfare economics. He also received the highest civilian medal of India, that is Bharat Ratna, after that in 1999. And he also received USA National Humanities Medal. He also received France highest civilian medal. So many awards he won. So that's why we are not counting the awards. Basically, you have to remember he won the Nobel Prize in 1990 and Bharat Ratna in after 1 year, that is in 1999. And guys, remember, the book opens up with the days of Amartya Sen, grew up with the grandparents in the Dhaka, Bangladesh, and later in life moving from Calcutta to Trinity College in Cambridge, United Kingdom, to study economics. And there were notable mentions of his economic views shaped by the ideas of the Karl Marx, Keynes, and the Arrow's philosophies. And he also shares how Rabindranath Tagore gave him his name Amartya, meaning immortal. So you have to remember this. So very important personality, guys, Amartya Sen, and the name of the book is Home in the World. But you can also see here the other options. Again, we are covering so many things from the options. First option is K.S. Vijayanath. So remember, he recently wrote a book about Sabrimala issue, and the book name is Sabrimala Vijnanan Kosham. Sabrimala, you can only remember the Sabrimala Vijnan Kosham. Next is Ramchandra Guha, very famous historian. He recently wrote a book about cricket, The Commonwealth of Cricket. The Commonwealth of Cricket. Next is Vaman Subha Prabhu, very important book. He wrote about the book related to Manohar Parrikar. So the name of the book is Manohar Parrikar, Off the Record. So remember, Prabhu, Guha, and Vijayanath, these are very important famous authors. And Amartya Sen, you can also remember that he recently won the Spain's top Princess of Asturias award in the social science category. Which award? Asturias Award. And it is for the social science category, and it was given by the Spanish Prize Foundation. Now we can move to the next question. Which institute has established the Quetta Center for Digital Health? It is India's first of its kind center for the digital health. And guys, you can remember this Quetta Center is basically, you can say, opened with the help of the Quetta Foundation, which is Mumbai-based foundation, and it will be established by IIT Bombay. So remember, answer of this question is B, and you can see here IIT Bombay announces the launch of its new Center for Digital Health, which will support from the Quetta Foundation, which is also a Mumbai-based foundation. And you can see here the Quetta Center for Digital Health is focused on driving academic programs, research and industry collaboration in the digital health, and it is with the contribution from the Quetta Foundation. And this Quetta Center for Digital Health will collaborate with the government organizations, healthcare technology companies, and healthcare NGOs. And this Quetta Center will offer minor, dual degrees, masters, and the PhD programs in the healthcare informatics. It means this center is establishing a world-class advisory board of healthcare professionals, academics, healthcare technology, and the industry veterans. And the academic and research focus area of this Quetta Center are clinical applications, including electronic patient records and the medical imaging, healthcare data management, healthcare analytics, healthcare artificial intelligence, machine learning, consumer health, public health, or the public policy. But all things will be related to maximally focused on the artificial intelligence and the machine learning. So guys, you have to just remember the important keyword that in India there will be one important digital health center will be opened, and it will be opened by the IIT Bombay with the help of the Quetta Foundation. That's why its name is Quetta Center for Digital Health. So now we can move to the next question. Which bank expanded its collaboration with the Oracle and Infosys to provide improved customer experience? So in simple word, you can say that this bank expanded its collaboration with the two companies. One is the Oracle, second is Infosys, to provide best to best experience to the customers with the help of the Oracle applications and the Infosys applications. And this bank is Federal Bank. So you have to remember the answer. Federal Bank collaborates with the Oracle and Infosys for enhanced customer experience. So under the collaboration, an integrated customer relationship management solution across marketing, sales, customer experience, and social listening will be created to improve the Federal Bank operation. So basically, Federal Bank plans to launch a single application with a 360-degree view of the customer's portfolio for its users, and Oracle will co-innovate this application with the partnership of the Infosys. And the partnership will enable the bank to offer a more strategic, integrated platform with the industry-aligned solution that will result in the richer experiences for its customers. And Oracle CS, this CX, this is the application of Oracle. Infosys Cobalt, this is application of Infosys. A set of cloud offering will enable the bank to deploy new products quickly and to create an improved digital experience for customers till its new application. Otherwise, Federal Bank planned already to launch a new application with the merger of these two applications, or you can say it will be made by the Oracle and the Infosys. And guys, remember recent related news, this question can come in SBI. You have to remember Google Pay co-creators has announced the launch of a new neobank which is known as Fi for salaried millennials, and the partnership with the Federal Bank. This is also with the partnership of the Federal Bank. So guys, remember about here the Federal Bank. This is the important thing. Federal Bank was established in the year of 1931, and firstly it was established with the name of the Travancore Federal Bank Limited. After that it changed to the Federal Bank Limited in 1949, and its headquarters is in Eluva, Kerala. Exact place is Eluva, and it is in Kerala. And managing director and CEO is Shyam Srinivasan, and its tagline is your perfect banking partner. Your perfect banking partner. Now we can move to next question. What is the name of exoplanet which was discovered recently and located 90 light years away from the Earth? And name of this exoplanet is TOI 1231b. So you have to just remember 1231, and you can you can say eliminate the options. And you can see here Neptune-like planet which is already cold, named TOI 1231b, discovered by the scientist of NASA. And you can see here 90 light years away from Earth, which has a cooler atmosphere, that is 57 degrees Celsius, and has a possibility of having water clouds. And this exoplanet is almost as same as the size of Neptune, and it was discovered by NASA's Transiting Exoplanet Survey satellite, which is known as TESS. TESS uses the transit method to detect exoplanets. That is, when a planet crosses in front of you can say its solar or the star during orbit, it blocks a certain amount of light. This dip in the visible light of the star is called transit. So you have to remember this transiting exoplanet survey satellite belongs to NASA. And TESS is a space telescope launched by NASA in the 2018 to conduct exoplanetary studies. So this is name of the telescope. And guys, you can also remember one thing. What are the exoplanets? Exoplanets are the planets located outside our solar system and orbits a star similar to the Earth and Sun. This is exoplanet. And recently ISRO and NASA both completed the development of synthetic aperture radar called the NISAR. NISAR stands for N stands for NASA, I stands for ISRO, SAR stands for synthetic aperture radar, which is capable of producing high resolution images. It will be used for the joint Earth observation satellite missions of ISRO and NASA. So guys, you can also remember about NASA. NASA's new administrator is currently Bill Nelson. So you have to remember, this is important question, and he is currently serving as the 14th administrator of NASA, and chief scientist is Jim Green, and NASA was established in 1958. Moving to next question. It is from picture. It is basically not a question, it is a information that India's agriculture exports register increase of 17.34% in 2020-21. You have to just remember this figure. Almost you can say 17.5% India's agriculture export increased in 2020-21. Even due to COVID-19, you can say it increases. And India's tea export fell by almost 16.30% in 2020-21. And despite COVID-19, the balance of trade stands for the export and imports of goods in agriculture, has improved by 42.16%. And a huge growth has been recorded in export of cereals, and highest growth was recorded for the Indonesia. Nothing is important under this question. You have to just remember this figure. And this is by the Ministry of Agriculture. You know, Union Minister is Narendra Singh Tomar, whose constituency is Morena, Madhya Pradesh. Now we can move to the next section. It is our important question section. You have to like this video, you have to share this video, you have to subscribe this channel, and you can join our Telegram group from the description box link. Here is the question. India did first meeting of the joint working group on cyber security cooperation with which country? And this is the first time that with this country we are focusing on the cyber security, and it is a joint working group committee was also formed between the two countries, and this country is Australia. And you can see here India and Australia to expand cyber security cooperation. It is the first meeting of the India and Australia joint working group. So it is basically to enhance the security of critical information infrastructure such as 5G telecom networks or Internet of Things devices. Both countries have decided to enhance the cooperation with the private sector and academia, and to work together in the skill and knowledge development. So this is India and Australia. Remember, Australia capital is Canberra, Prime Minister is Scott Morrison, currency is Australian dollar. And the last question of today is Indian Navy will receive first set of 3 MH-60 Romeo helicopter. So very interesting name. You have to remember the name of the helicopters are Romeo helicopters, and India will receive these 3 helicopters in July. But these helicopters belong to which country? So very simple question. These helicopters belong to United States of America, but the name is very interesting, so I think you can remember very easily. So India and the US have signed a total deal over almost 15,000 crore rupees to procure 24 MH-60 Romeo helicopters from Lockheed Martin, which is a company of United States of America. And this MH-60 Romeo helicopters are equipped with the multi-mode radars and the night vision devices, along with the, you can say, Hellfire missile, torpedoes, and the precision guided weaponry. So very important. So India will receive first set, but total order was 24. So now we are moving to the one-liner important point. Here is the first point. Government allocated almost 40,000 crore rupees for the waste management in 2 lakh villages under the Swachh Bharat mission under the Gramin area. So it is basically the phase 2 mission, and this you can say the SBM Gramin, or you can say Swachh Bharat mission Gramin phase 2 aims to achieve comprehensive cleanliness in the villages, and by focusing on the open defecation free sustainability and ensuring this solid and liquid waste management arrangements in the villages. And 40,700 crore, that is the exact amount, will be shared with the state governments, also with the you can say the 15th Finance Commission, and also with the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme. So this is the phase 2. Next is, due to climate change, India might lose 3 to 10% GDP annually by 2100. It is a ODI report. So first of all, you have to remember what is ODI. ODI stands for Overseas Development Institute, and the report named as the Cost of Climate Change in India, a review of the climate related risk facing India and their economic and the social cost. This is released by Overseas Development Institute. Its headquarters is in London, United Kingdom. And guys, remember, it is also estimated that poverty rate of India to rise by 3.5% in 2040 due to the climate change. So India's poverty will rise by 3.5% in 2040 due to climate change. And India has an increase of the temperature almost by 0.62 degree over the last 100 years. And while the increase is lower than the global average of 1 degree Celsius, but somehow India's temperature is increased by 0.62 degree Celsius in the last 100 years. And you can also remember, if the global temperature are continued to 2 degrees Celsius by 2100, India will lose 2.6% GDP annually. And if the global temperature is increased to 4 degrees Celsius, India will lose 13.4% GDP annually. So this is a threatening news for India. So we have to tackle this climate problem. Next, Panchayati Raj Minister Narendra Singh Tomar, also the Union Minister of Agriculture, released a model Panchayat Citizen Charter. So you have to just read this keyword, that is a model Panchayat Citizen Charter. It is a framework for delivery of the services across the 29 sectors, aligning with, you can say, the sustainable development goals. And this report is basically released by Narendra Singh Tomar. Next, Harsh V. Shringla, who is the Union Minister of State under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, released stamp to mark the 70th anniversary of India-German ties. You can remember this. This is important thing, that India and Germany relation completed the 70 years, and on this occasion we released a commemorative postage stamp to mark the 70th anniversary. And India announced the establishment of diplomatic relation with the Federal Republic of Germany in 1951. So it marks the 70th anniversary. And India and Germany consult and cooperate closely in the multilateral and the international organizations related to counter-terrorism, cyber security, scientific research, and climate change. And remember about Germany, capital is Berlin, currency is Euro, president is Frank Walter, and prime minister is Angela Merkel, or you can say the chancellor is Angela Merkel. Small island states experienced an estimated 9% fall in the GDP in 2020. It is UNCTAD report. So this report is important because it is given by UNCTAD. It means United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. Its headquarters is in Geneva, Switzerland. And according to this report, basically, due to pandemic, small island developing states experienced an estimated fall in the GDP of 9% in 2020 as compared with a 3.3% decline in the other developing countries according to the IMF data. So you don't have to remember this data. It is just a information for you that how climate is basically affecting, and how you can say trade is affecting the countries and the islands. So remember about United Nations Conference on Trade and Development. Its headquarters is in Geneva. Next, Niti Aayog recommended the privatization of two banks. One is the you can say central bank, and second is Indian Overseas Bank. So these two banks will be privatized according to Niti Aayog, and Niti Aayog already recommended the disinvestment process announced according to the Union Budget of 2021 to 22. Because according to the budget of 2021-22, two public sector banks and one general insurance company in 2021-22 will be privatized as per the public sector enterprise policy for the Atmanirbhar Bharat. And center government already set a target of disinvestment in the financial year budget of 2022. That is 1.75 lakh crore. This is a huge. Moving to next, it is the question of the day, that is 11th June 2021. Question was very simple. Where was the first society under the Cooperative Society Act 1904 registered in India? So the most important thing here, the Indian Cooperative Society Act 1904. It was based on the European ideas and experiences in the second half of the 19th century. And the principle of this act was set up by the Frederick Wilhelm. And first cooperative society was registered in Kanjipuram. So guys, remember, first cooperative society was registered in Kanjipuram. And guys, it is also known as Urban Cooperative Credit Society. It was registered in Kanjipuram in the Madras Presidency in October 1904. So you have to remember this. This is important. And now we are moving to the question of the day. What is the question? which is the first Indian bank to get ISO certification? So guys, you have to answer only in the comment box. I am waiting your answer. Every student have to answer. So you have to like this video before answering. You have to subscribe this channel, and you have to share this video as maximum as possible. You can press this bell button so that you can receive the notification. And guys, you can also join our Telegram group for every notification. And it is a Affairs Cloud promise, and it is my personal promise that if you are watching the videos regularly and if you are reading the current affairs from the PDF, then your current affairs section will go strong, definitely. And you can subscribe our PDFs from our application. Downloading link is given in the description box, and after downloading and log in with your email ID, you can subscribe for 1 year as well as for 2 years, and you will get 10% extra discount if you use this code ASH10. And guys, don't take life so much serious. Life is fun. Always be happy. Thank you for watching this video, and take care. Bye bye.